Yeah, Pippin, pirated, swiped, filched from an orbital cargo bay. It happens every cycle. Some poor starfarer goes into the old sonic shower bay, takes off his chronoglyph, and the next thing you know, it's gone. Bo jabbed a finger in Percy's direction. But, Captain, Sly Silas said he bought it from his supplier. You mean his fence? Pippin, his fence? Bo was practically hyperventilating. Now, let's face it, Pippin, right now, in Astra Haven, there's probably some poor guy walking around without his chronoglyph. And you got it. You bought a stolen chronoglyph. Percy stared at the chronoglyph in his hand, as if it had suddenly transformed into a venomous multi-limbed creature. I didn't mean to. His face crumpled in distress. You did too, Pippin. You did too. Well, I don't want it, Percy declared, trying to shove the chronoglyph back into Bo's hand. Well, that's terrible. Pirated goods. Why didn't I just go to the Galactic Emporium and get my Gravmat slippers? What am I going to do, Captain? I don't care, but I'm going to do something. Percy was now pacing frantically, a miniature tempest of moral indignation. Bo, however, found a strange, grim determination settling over him. I've had it, Pippin. It's not just you, but every payday, there's some petty crook waiting around in ambush for one of our guys, fleecing them out of their hard-earned credits, and I'm getting sick of it. Positively sick of it. But what are we going to do, Captain? Percy asked, his voice quivering. First thing I'm going to do is get your credits back, Bo stated, his eyes glowing with renewed purpose. And then I'm going to make this Silas character a memory you wish you'd never had a chance encounter with, from this base and any other, in a 2-parsec radius. Now, where is he, Pippin? Where did you see him? Well, the last time I saw him, Captain, Percy stammered. He was out by the plasma fence, just past the derelict cargo containers. Oh, I feel awful about this, Captain, Percy lamented, his face etched with sorrow. Just awful. All right, Pippin, you go back to the barracks and wait. I'll handle this crook. Bo squared his shoulders, a formidable presence even without his combat harness. Well, Captain, Percy added, his voice still choked with emotion, would you tell that Sly Silas something for me? Tell him that after what he's done, not to expect any word of my business from me. Bo just grunted, already stomping towards the plasma fence, a righteous fire ignited in his eyes. Sly Silas Sterling was about to discover the full, unadulterated fury of a Starstone Marine Corps captain, and it wasn't going to be pretty, not pretty at all. Chapter 3. The Unraveling of the Stardust Scarf. Captain Beauregard Montgomery found Sly Silas Sterling near the designated free market zone, skillfully hawking genuine plutonian glow gems to a trio of wide-eyed tourists. Bo's approach was a silent, predatory glide. He had refined the art of closing in on an unsuspecting target during countless orbital infiltration drills. Sly Silas, engrossed in his sales pitch, didn't notice the storm brewing until a shadow fell across his iridescent stall. Thought you could get away with it, didn't you, Sterling? Bo growled, his voice a low rumble. Coming around here, fleecing my men. Well, you've had it, Buster. You have had it. Sly Silas started, his glow gems tumbling to the ground. He recognized the Starstone Marine Corps uniform, and more importantly, the icy fury in Bo's eyes. His slick charm immediately activated. What do you want, Captain? Just tell me what you want, and perhaps we can discuss it rationally. I'll tell you what I want, Bo retorted, thrusting Percy's chronoglyph forward. I want the credits back for this pirated piece of junk. Sly Silas visibly relaxed. The chronoglyph, a mere trifle. The credits. Well, why didn't you say so, Captain? I'd be glad to give you a refund. We stand by our customer satisfaction guarantee in all ethical trades. He even managed a placating smile. Bo narrowed his eyes, suspicious of the sudden compliance. Oh, don't feed me that customer satisfaction stuff. You phony. You mean you're actually going to give me the credits? Of course. Here. Silas pulled a handful of credits from a pouch, counting them out precisely. And you tell your buddy, PFC Pippin. I'm sorry he wasn't satisfied with the transaction. Bo took the credits, stunned. $12.95, he muttered, checking the amount. You mean you're actually giving me a refund? Just like that? Well, of course I'm giving you a refund, Captain. Sly, Silas replied, now completely at ease, sliding back into his well-rehearsed patter. And I'll give you an explanation also, because you're entitled to it. A gentleman such as yourself deserves the full transparency of the marketplace. Yeah, so explain the great mystery of the $12.95 gravitonium chronoglyph, Bo challenged, skeptical. You want to know about this chronoglyph, Captain? Sly Silas spread his hands expansively. Well, right now, a similar model is sitting in a display window of Wilson's Interstellar Jewelers in the prestigious quantum sector, selling for $97.50 credits, and that's even on sale. Bo scoffed. Oh, come on. What do you take me for? Some kind of backwater rube? I was raised in Cosmic Crucible City, Mr. With people, and orbital freeways, and high-volume deer-to-stream markets. All right, Silas conceded with a theatrical shrug. You were born in the city, Captain, but you still got a lot to learn about intergalactic merchandising. It's not always about where you're from, but who you know and how you acquire your stock. Okay, then you tell me, Bo demanded, folding his arms. How do you sell a 100-credit gravitonium chronoglyph for $12.95 credits, without it being a phony or pirate? Sly Silas leaned in, lowering his voice conspiratorially once more, his scales shimmering under the faint glow of Bo's rising impatience. Simple, Captain. Low overhead, no fixed-stock storefront, no multi-species sales staff demanding benefits, no excessive atmospheric conditioning units. Pure efficiency, you see. Bo frowned. Low overhead. Well, sure. Silas gestured vaguely towards the high-tech, gleaming storefronts of the quantum sector visible in the distance. You go downtown to any of these high-class jewelers, and what do you see? Fancy holographic fixtures, thick sonic dampening carpets, heavily augmented. Do you see any of that around here? He gestured around his rickety store. Huh, do you see it? No, but Bo began, a tiny crack forming in his rigid skepticism. Well, I still don't see how a gravitonium chronoglyph can sell for $12.95 credits, Bo admitted grudgingly. There's got to be a catch, Silas. Of course, there's a catch, Captain, and it's the markup. The markup. Have you any idea of the markup involved in these luxury items? Bo frowned. No, I usually get my chronoglyphs directly from the quartermaster corps. Well, not many of us know, Sly Silas confided, his voice now brimming with false camaraderie, that there's a 60 and 70% profit attached to these luxury items when you buy them by the cut. Bo's eyes widened. Of course, I'm a high-volume dealer. I make a tiny profit on each individual item, but I go for the big turnover. Even taking this time to talk to you has cost me money, Captain. Sly Silas patted Bo's shoulder. But it's worth it. I mean, how many times do I get to talk shop with a man who truly understands the business side of things? Bo felt a faint stir of pride, an unwelcome and insidious feeling. Well, I was always pretty good in basic galactic arithmetic. Good. I knew it. Sly Silas rubbed his hands together. Well, let me really explain it to you, Captain. Now, when the manufacturer gets an item, say, any product, particularly your there's a whole chain of markups before it ever reaches the consumer, like this watch. Bo listened, mesmerized, as Sly Silas spun, a convoluted, yet strangely compelling, tale of wholesale costs, distributor fees, regional tariffs, and retail margins. He explained how he bypassed all of this, dealing directly with, well, never mind who he dealt directly with, but the point was efficiency, volume, and low overhead. By the time Silas finished, Bo was nodding slowly, a reluctant understanding dawning in his eyes. The rogue merchant was a scoundrel, but by golly, he knew his trade. Later, back at the barracks, Percy was lamenting his blunder to Archie Finch. How in the cosmic void could I have offered such a paltry sum? Archie, imagine me being so foolish. It's not as if I was 2 cycles old. I'm a grown man, a Marine, a Hickenlooper prime high school graduate. Archie clapped him on the shoulder. Don't you stop aggravating yourself, Percy. It was just one of those things. You got taken. Chalk it up to experience. Well, one thing's for sure, Percy vowed, clenching his fists. Captain Montgomery's not gonna let him get away with it. No, sir. I'll bet you he puts that fella out of business and gets my credits back. Archie, ever the realist, sir. I wouldn't count on it, Percy, right now. That Silas character and your 13 credits are probably halfway across the galactic arm. Percy, ever the optimist, tried to console himself. Well, I sure hope he enjoys that money and has himself a good time, because he's got his conscience to live with. Just then, Captain Beau Montgomery stormed into the barracks, a grim set to his jaw, but holding the returned chronoglyph. Captain Montgomery, did you find him? Did you find that sly Silas? Did you catch up with him? Did you?